The Adelaide Arcade is an eccentric place with a lot of character. Being a large shop district, it holds a total of 100 stores, all with unique items for sale. It was built in 1885 and at the time was able to contain a total of 50 shops. After the mayor of Adelaide at the time, William Bundy, laid the first stone, it took 200 people working for only 7 months to finish the arcade. Now, 132 years later, the arcade still stands proud.
It's a beautiful arcade. It really is a beautiful arcade, very underutilised really, upstairs particularly. My name is Terry Brown. The shop is called Arcade Alchemy and it incorporates Dragon's Blood Creations and my business partner Mark Plu's work, so it's a bit of a combination. We've also got some ring-ins from a friend of ours in Melbourne, so we've got some odd things that were actually made elsewhere, but most of what's in here is actually made by Mark and myself. And we've been here for about 2 and a bit years now, I think. While I only know a handful of the shopkeepers that are here, those that I do know are really, really quite lovely people. So yes, it is a nice atmosphere, and it helps to imbue the arcade with a really nice, friendly atmosphere, and it's really quite lovely. I love it anyway, and it's just such a beautiful place.
Hi, my name's Mary and I've been here for 8 years and I own this store owner Miss Story. It's a long arcade, so some people keep to themselves, but we do have a few neighbours that are amazing and we keep in touch and we like to sort of look out for each other.
My name's Sarah Williams. My grandma actually owns the shop, so I've been coming here probably since I was really little, but I've actually worked here for 6 years. I wouldn't say I really grew up here, but yeah, getting to come here every so often was definitely fun. It's definitely a fun place to work. It's always great how they have all the decorations and things like that. If, say, for different holidays like Christmas, they have different lights and things like that, and it's a great community, I guess, which is good.
I'm Mandy. I've had this business for about 5 years in the arcade. I was previously online retail. Just wanted to have a shop front, so the business is called A Rare Notion. It's a bit random. Sells a lot of interesting things: men's, ladies, vintage clothing, vintage style clothing, stuff that I make and my mum makes. Yeah, just a bit of everything.
I'm Ross Morgan and I run this gallery. All the work in here is my own, and I've been in the arcade for 5 years now. So I do my drawing and painting in here, and I also exhibit my work in here. You get to know them really well, and a couple of the businesses here I catch up with for coffee in the morning, and we talk about what's happening in the arcade or any upcoming events and things like that.
Oh yes, it's a village. We're all friends. We all know each other. You walk through in the morning. Yes, I know virtually every tenant in the arcade. I'm Terry Gasson and I'm bespoke tailor. A bespoke tailor is one, to sum it simply, it's an individual making for an individual.
The Battery Bar has been in the arcade for many, many years, retailing initially batteries to suit mainly older cameras. My father started it over 40 years ago now, and it was in response to his perception that there was a need for this sort of business. We have a nice community. It's not as strong as it used to be because we're all pretty much head down trying to keep the businesses open without spending much time socially. But it is nice to gather around the coffee shop in the morning and shoot the breeze with others from the arcade and from adjacent. We've got a resident ghost, who I think I've seen once. I was shifting shops from, as I said, across here up to Chow Coffee Bar late at night, 9 o'clock, looking up on the second floor, the area above the main shopping area. a glowing orb shape. Watched it for a while, turned away, looked back up, and it had gone back into what I thought was a doorway, but could have been through the window, who knows. So that's my one experience with it, and that was enough to send me home.
I haven't actually had any dealings with the ghost. I understand that Mandy may have done so next door. She's had some odd doors shut on her.
So Francis the ghost, the story goes, he was the the caretaker, I guess. And so from what I've been able to gather, there was like a ballroom bar or something like that on one end of the arcade, and late one night there was some people, they're drinking, and the caretaker, Francis the caretaker, comes over and tells them off and gets a bit irate and says, right, I'm gonna turn off the generator and then you guys will have to leave. So he goes to turn off the generator, all the power goes out, and people go to investigate, and he's fallen into the generator. A lot of the things he does is related to sort of electricity and lighting and things like that. So things that have happened to me is that the little electrical panel and the door just kind of opens randomly. My vacuum cleaner turned on randomly, it's not even easy to do. It's like an actual push button switch that, you can't really knock or anything like that. So it's a lot of weird things like that happen.
But as I said to someone recently, I said I don't believe in the ghost, but I don't think he believes in me either. So. I've been in business just 2 years when that happened. I got a phone call in the middle of the night and came here, and yes, the whole arcade was alight, and after it was under control, all us tenants were brought in one at a time. And I'm a child of the Second World War in London, and it was reminiscent of the bombing of London. The arcade, all the roof was out. By coincidence, it was only the Gays arcade, not the Adelaide arcade. The story is it started in the Adelaide arcade.
Most of the arcade was gutted by a fire, and a lot of it was changed and renovated afterwards.
Originally, the arcade was sort of set up so that the downstairs area was where the shops were, and then the upstairs were where all the products and whatever were made. It was like the workshops for the downstairs shops. But after the fire, they converted it, sort of must have gutted it or whatever, and then a lot of the upstairs got converted into separate shops, and that's why I've got a thing here. But I think it was quite a destructive fire.
I know there's a major fire that started here. It was Fitch the Rubber Man's and jokes, and they had magic, stuff. And next door to that was a hairdresser. That was in this actual physical location. Major fire. That was before me. That was my dad. Was here when that happened.
But in a way, it was good for the arcade because we've got better fire alarm system and sprinklers. There's probably not smoke alarms. But anyway, so we have sprinklers here, an alarm system. In fact, I'm a fire warden, so if we're chatting away and the alarm goes off, I'm going to have to put my red hat on and evacuate you along with others.
It's a beautiful arcade. Pop in, there's gorgeous boutique style stores. Like I said, you pop in and you'll leave happy. It's a beautiful experience.
Come in, have a look around. It is beautiful. There's some wonderful merchants here that deserve support. Me being one of them, of course. But it really is a lovely arcade. It's not just a thoroughfare between Wundle Mall and Grenfell Street.
Explore, definitely come upstairs. There's a lot to see, and even if you wander around and just have a look at things, go through the arcade museum, which has a lot of interesting things to look at. And yeah, just look at the view. Come eat at 2 Bit Villains, excellent food. just explore.
It's a totally individual place. I was in Singapore a while ago. I was in a shopping centre, and apart from everyone looking Asian, I could have been Westfield Marion. Whereas you come here, it has an individual personality. You think of this arcade, and you think of all the others. Okay, the Regent Arcade to a lesser degree, but this has a wonderful personality, so that nothing else could emulate.
The arcade, it's just got a beautiful ambience. Like, I don't know, you come in, it's cosy, it's warm, the people and the customers are beautiful.
I think it's a lovely historical place to be working, and there's a real community in here.
It's beautiful architecture. It's a lovely atmosphere, and as I said, there's some really good merchants here that deserve support, and buy local, choose SA, so on and so forth. So that's what I would recommend anyway. But yes, it's not always expensive as people seem to think it is. So it's a case of come in and make your own decisions.
There's always lots of tourists coming in, so I think it's definitely a great atmosphere to shop in.
Feels local, and it's nice to be in such a lovely building as well.